the Super Spaghetti Bros Podcast Network. Happy Marge Capice, everybody. I'm Mike, and with me as always is my brother, Jason. Hello, Jason.
Rock on, dude.
Oh, okay.
What's poppin'?
Rock on, dude. I was going to say go Lions, dude, because that's a sick hoodie.
Go Lions, dude.
Go Lions, dude. Dan
It's
Campbell,
really comfy.
dude.
It's really comfy, but my only thing that I'm like, about is it's got like a really small neck hole.
Oh, dude, I hate that, dude.
And I got
need
a big-ass
neck
head.
hole. Right, we got big
Like
heads and big necks.
I wore it at the gym the other day, and I'm like, I wore it while I'm like on the stair climber, because I'm trying to sweat it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I'm gonna fucking faint on the stair climber. I gotta take this shit off.
And then it
I
got
gotta
stuck.
take it off, and my earbuds fucking pop off and shit, and I'm like, what the?
And then you
So,
couldn't get it
like,
off your
hoodie
head, and you
makers
fell down the stairs infinitely.
Yeah, and my pants fell down. There was a virus on my computer. Anyway, bigger neck holes, please, hoodie makers.
Yeah, we need bigger neck holes.
Frauds.
We need bigger neck holes in all shirts.
Bigger neck holes, please.
As someone who doesn't have much of a neck this way, but has a lot of neck this way, I need bigger. I need bigger neck holes.
Bigger
I need
neck
them.
hole, please.
I'm the opposite
It's
of
important.
a giraffe. Like when they discover my skeleton in a billion years, they'll just see this really compressed spine.
It's got a chode neck.
I got a chode neck, dude.
Hey, girth? Girth's important, dude.
2 for 2 on the chode, you know what I mean? What can you do? Anyway, welcome everybody to this podcast. This is the third episode of the longest running podcast named the ARP. That's not true either.
Nah. But it wasn't true when we said it before.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's what I said either. So we, the tagline of the show is, hey, it's the Ansem Report Podcast without the Kingdom Hearts. But if you guys don't mind for just a little bit of a moment, we're gonna talk something Kingdom Hearts related, and that's because we are in the middle of Marge Capice 5.
Yes, Marge Capice. Marge Capice. Marge Capice. Marge Capice.
Shout out to Marge. Shout out to all our friends at Marge Capice, the shadowy organization known as Marge Capice. They've been doing it a week-long thing. There's been tons of streams and stuff. Starting tomorrow, from the day this podcast releases, the main event where they do all the concert soiree and regular pack comes out of hibernation and Cage Guides has something and all kinds of people are doing stuff. There's a schedule on margecaprice.com. So if you got some free time on Saturday and Sunday and want to check out some really cool Kingdom Hearts content creator stuff, go check it out. We're very I won't speak for Jason, I guess. I'm very sad that we couldn't be more involved or do anything for Marge Capice this year.
Wow.
Yeah, Jason hates Marge Capice.
Thank you for making sure you don't speak for me there.
Yeah. It just because of my work schedule, it just didn't work out to plan anything, and I didn't want to let them down, like plan something and then let them down. So we didn't. This is the first year we're not doing anything for Marge Capice, we'll be back next year to do that, but I'm really excited for them that they're having such a great event. It seems like everything's going really well. Shout out to our guy Fabio and his buddy Cartridge for their dearly beloved version that fucking slaps. Have you heard this, Jason?
Not yet. No.
Oh my god, dude. I won't even talk about it because I don't want to. It's really good. I'm really
excited.
Good. Some of Fabio's best work, and I love all Fabio's work. We're a Time King household in this house.
You already know. You already know.
But shout out to them, and shout out to everybody who's done something for it. And
this will be back in time as well. Another shout out is to Brandon Glovich. I'll be on his section of Marge Capice, but it will have been on Thursday. This comes out Friday. But you can go check out the VOD. We'll be talking about the boy Ansem. So
actually, I wasn't gonna do this, but you brought it up. Bit of a bit of a bone to pick with Mr. Glovich here. You know, a bit of a character files. Character files.
Oh, yeah.
With your mate, it's character files. It's some character files. Character files. Deadass with your brother, it's character files. Yeah, it's time for the character files.
He said that's what it was. He came to me with the idea. Like, I'll pull back the curtain a bit. He came to me with the idea, and I was like, oh, yeah, Mike and I did the same thing, pretty much, right? And he's like, oh, man, really? And I was like, hey, that doesn't mean you can't do it.
No,
do
it
what
does
you want
mean
to
that.
do.
It does mean that.
Do what you want to do.
You can't do it.
It's going to be better than ours, probably.
Yeah,
ours was bare minimum effort.
To be honest, I don't even remember what ours was.
We just would say, character files.
I just remember
over and
the
over
X-Files
in stupid
thing.
fucking voices. And then we just
remember
read
the
it.
X-Files thing. I don't even remember what the segment was. Like, we would read from that book, right? We would read like a
Yeah. That's what kicked it off for us, and I think for him as well. So
well, that was
great minds think alike.
Man, the well was dry then, and we didn't even know it. You know, we were scraping, but the character files stinger is still one of my favorite things. It's just the X-Files theme with us going character files, and then me like lowering the pitch on our voices so it sounds like it was like some top secret government. But then I think there's one where you're just like, hey, it's character files, isn't it? Like that, but it's like in the low voice. It's so stupid. One of the dumbest things you ever did. You know, I know that what we just talked about was Kingdom Hearts related, but it didn't really warrant a full Ansem report. So we figured I wanted to shout out Marge Capice and specifically Jason being on Brandon's thing. So go check out the VOD of that. I'm sure it went really well.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool people in the community, one quick shout out I want to do as well that is kind of a bit of a watch list. I don't know why I pointed up. I don't know if the
Oh shit.
but some news, you know, the watch list, you know, this isn't really news about the game, but it's news to our good friend Lance the Master. Hashtag respect the Master.
I'm wearing the Respect the Master shirt right now.
You are under the Lions hoodie. He got accepted into the Claire Obscure Expedition 33 like creator program, so he gets to play demo early, and he gets to do all kinds of stuff. And I'm really proud of Lance. He's
mad jealous.
I'm jealous for sure, but I couldn't have happened to a nicer person, and he is putting in work as a content creator and deserves all the success he's getting and will get. And I'm excited to watch him play the game and be jealous from the sidelines. But what a guy that Lance.
If it had to happen to somebody,
right?
You know?
Lance just living out the life I want to live. You know, did you know Lance took over our interview series for Marge Capice? I didn't know that till the other day.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
I was like, Lance, dude, we're getting market corrected by Lance. We're getting market corrected. Like
True.
There's gonna be like Kingdom Hearts analysts one day that are like, man, the SpikeGhetti Bros really looked like they were gonna take off, and then Lance just came in and market corrected them, dude.
They fumbled.
Is real hard.
Is this the biggest fumble in KH history?
Yeah, it's us. And then they're gonna watch this podcast and laugh. To start off, I have a new segment, Jason, that I'm just calling Games Mike Missed in 2024. Thank you. So the idea of this segment is I'm going to go over 6 different games that I wanted to play in 2024 and why.
Okay.
But I didn't. I didn't have time, or I didn't buy them, or I didn't, you know. And I thought it'd be a fun. Yeah, I thought it'd be a fun little review. I might be scared of them. That's possible. There might be some I'm scared of. First game on the list, Jason. Black Myth Wukong.
And in my opinion, the scariest.
The scariest game. Because, it could be good. It could be
I heard
not
it's a
that
banger.
good. I heard it's good.
It's like a boss rush kind of thing.
Right. I've been intrigued by this game. It's an action game, which I'm a fan of for the most part. I don't necessarily like when it gets into Soulsy category, which from what I understand, this game doesn't really. It's more like less flashy, like Devil May Cry, like that kind of deal.
Yeah.
And
It's somewhere in the middle of those.
I'm way more into that than I am into like, a Dark Souls or an Elden Ring kind of deal.
Well, there's like a lot of customizing you can do to your build, and like the more bosses you kill, the more you can change your kit and stuff. And
Right.
so it's like if you could play like a Dark Souls game without like the arbitrary like having to run around to find the next part.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you just go to the next one pretty much.
I played a decent amount of Elden Ring for our charity, or not our charity, our subathon. I remember having the commentary of, man, I wish I didn't have to wander around. I wish I
knew where
was
to
just
go.
going to the next boss, right? Like, and so it sounds like that's what this would be for me. So I'm interested in that one. I'm also interested to find out, like, people say that like Wukong inspired Dragon Ball, but like Dragon Ball like came out in the 80s. So
Right,
like
dude, this one came out in 2024.
I don't
Like,
understand.
come on,
What are
dude.
they talking about? Like, what do you mean Wukong inspired Dragon Ball? Like, that doesn't make any sense. The game is way newer than Dragon Ball. People are stupid, man. I don't know what.
I don't
just-
know, dude.
They just say stupid.
They must
shit.
be rage baiting.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't
obviously.
make
They're
any
just trying
sense.
to get me angry, and it might work a little bit. The next game on my list, and not for reasons that you might think, you preverts, is Stellar
Sure.
Blade. Stellar Blade.
He couldn't play it because there wasn't enough time where Tara wasn't home.
Hey, Tara. Okay, dude, you're gonna get me in trouble because Tara literally. But when I tucked her in tonight, was like, "Don't talk about me on the podcast." And I don't know why she said that, because it's not like we talk about her on the podcast a lot, but she was like, "Don't talk about me." So now here you are bringing up Tara, and here I am talking about
Caught.
Tara. Yeah, she'll like Caught. She loves Caught still. So Caught for your Caught, Tara. But Stellar Blade, for similar reasons I'm interested in Wukong, action game, flashy action game, customization of the character. I might be a little interested in that, might be a little. Tara, stop listening. I might be a little interested
upgrading
in that.
the kit.
Yeah, upgrading the kit to make her stronger. I heard it's a well done game. You know what I mean? And I'm a big fan of well done action games. The next game on the list, this one's more of a morbid curiosity, and that's the game Skull and Bones.
Oh, jeez.
By
no.
Ubisoft.
No.
Okay. Skull and Bones.
Is that game like even like up still? Did they already take that down? I don't even know.
I guess I don't know that. I didn't think they would, because it's not like a multiplayer game, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Well, like it in the same way that like Sea of Thieves is.
Really? Okay, I thought it wasn't. I thought it was just like, hey, we made Black Flag, but without the Assassin's Creed.
No,
Oh.
it's really bad.
Okay, maybe strike that one from the list.
It's really bad.
Maybe strike that one from the list. Well, hold on. Let me see if it still exists. Because if it still exists,
If it still exists, I feel like it's probably just due to like a contract that they signed with like the Singapore government. Because it's the first ever quadruple A game. Because it's like,
I fucking hate Google AI, dude. Listen to this response. I just typed in,
oh no.
does Skull and Bones still exist? Yes, Skull and Bones, both the video game and the Yale Secret Society still exist.
Huh?
Though the Yale Society's influence and public perception have changed over time. Why the fuck would I be asking about both of those?
Oh, thank God. Thank God I can go to Yale, join the Skull and Bones sorority or whatever the hell, and then play Skull and Bones with the Skull and Bones boys.
Does the Skull and Bones game still exist? I need more detail. I don't need more detail about the Secret Society.
I'm pretty sure playing KH3 like Pirates of the Caribbean world is better than Skull and Bones.
Okay, as of December 19th, PC Gamer reported that Ubisoft has plans for year 2 of content release for Skull and Bones.
I feel like it's gonna get scrapped, bro. Cause like they're literally like having people evaluate their company to like possibly like split the company and like sell some of their IPs.
I don't know. It sounds like Shadows might have saved the company, dude.
I don't know.
It might have. It might have. It might not have like helped them with relations in Japan, but it might have saved the company. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if it did.
That's
it depends on how much microtransactions, you know, where you can buy gear, money, fucking anything. You can just buy it in the game, by the way. Single player game.
Who's a
that
bigger
you also
enemy?
pay $70 for.
This is maybe a topic for another podcast, but who's a bigger enemy of Japan? Assassin's Creed Shadows or Logan Paul? I don't know. It's tough to say.
The fact that it's up in the air. Ubisoft or Jake Paul.
Who has done
or
more
Logan Paul, I mean.
Who has done more disrespect to Japanese culture? Assassin's Creed Shadows or Logan Paul? It's up in the air. And people aren't sure.
Somehow we're in that timeline.
Because Japan's all about the respect. They're all about the respect.
Oh, jeez.
I had to teach Tara that lore the other day because she didn't know about that, and we had to watch like the supercut of him like throwing fishes on like taxis and being just
wearing
an absolute jackass.
The like green alien hat from Toy Story.
I still can't get over Dom Mysterio going on Logan Paul's podcast and asking him if he's allowed in Japan, and then going, hey, like, you should like cut a heel promo in Japan and maybe wear like the green hat. It would go over real big. And Logan Paul getting absolutely pissed at him. Dominic Mysterio's a legend. We are off track, but Skull and Bones.
For many reasons.
Yeah. The next game on my list is I gotta preface this by saying there are very few. Speaking of online creators, I don't like. There are very few online creators I like less than Video Game Donkey. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I
used to like his videos. He kind of fell off though.
It pains me to say that his company, video game company, released Animal Well, which looks like a very interesting game to me. He didn't make the game, so that's maybe like he didn't. You're not gonna play
the Animal Well.
Someone was making it, and he said, "Hey, this looks like a game that I could release in my company," which is fine. But but Animal Well looks very interesting. It's from what I've seen, it's like a Metroidvania puzzle game, meaning like.
I remember seeing the art style is really cool.
There's no violence in it. Like, you're not attacking things, but you have to solve. Each room is kind of like a puzzle that you solve to get through the next. To be fair, and it's, you might we're in the middle of this segment, and you might go, well, Mike, you don't seem to know a lot about the games that you're talking about. And that's kind of the point, is I don't know a lot about them, but I'm telling you guys.
Because you wanted to play them at one point.
Right. I'm telling you guys what I know about them for a very specific reason, which I'll reveal at the end. So just hang in there for this. Hang in there.
It kind of gave me the vibes of like doing like an Undertale pacifist run, you know? Like it's just like a... But between like the art style being kind of quirky and then also the not killing shit, you know?
It's definitely the most indie game on this list, like that I made here. Unicorn Overlord is the next one on the list. Have you heard of this game, Jay?
It's not what you would think it is. Yeah, it's like the tactics kind of game, right?
It's like a tactics game. It's made by
or like a Fire Emblem.
Yeah, it's made by the company I can never remember. Odin Spear, and they make these really like arty, like very beautiful art Japanese like games. A lot of times they were like side scrollers, or I'm trying to think of other games they've made, but. Or Unicorn Overlord's their latest, and it's a completely different game from a gameplay standpoint.
Shit, what are those? I totally forgot the name of the game. The one where like it's like a JRPG and you have the party members, and then like you can like use the charges to make the attack stronger. What was that game? There's Octopath.
Oh,
it's like kind of got that type of art styles in certain instances.
Yeah, I think it's a little more arty than that because that's just kind of
Yeah.
like 2D, 3D, you know, like that Square Enix has
Well,
been
there's
everything.
there's part of Octopath Traveler 2 that has this like a similar type
Oh,
of
okay.
vibe.
See, I haven't played 2.
Mm.
That's a game I missed from 2023, which is a whole different
Yeah.
story.
Like a higher detail, higher res kind
Yeah.
of stuff sometimes.
But yeah, so that's a game I'm interested in because of the tactics element of it, and I've heard it's really good. The only negative thing I've heard about it is there was like some weird like translation drama with it, where people were upset about how certain things were translated because they didn't follow the exact meaning of the Japanese text.
I'd be interested to look at it.
You should if you're interested in that part of it, Jay. I think I linked this in the Discord at one point, but Resonant Arc, that podcast that, you know, they're a bit nerdy, but they did a whole thing about the translations, and then they sat down with the guy who helped translate Final Fantasy X originally, and had this big talk about translation discourse, and it's really interesting. So I highly, if you're interested in Japanese like translations for video games, he tells some really cool stories about Final Fantasy X and working on that, and that was one of the first, like, that was Square's first voice acted game, so it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, check that out.
I think where a lot of people like when it comes to like the literal translation in Japan, like if you're just to translate it literally versus what they end up putting it to, like Japanese a lot of times is like a pretty like it. I don't want to say like basic, but like they speak way more drier than English.
Right.
Like you would say a lot of the same things more often.
Well, and that's why you'll have a game like Danganronpa where they repeat themselves a lot in the text. Like one character will go, "Oh my God, this person's murdered," and then another character, "What? That person's murdered?" And then the next character go, "I can't believe they're murdered." It's because like there's not a good way to like translate what the Japanese text is trying to communicate without just repeating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's why-
There's a lot of repetition when they speak.
Right. So that's why you'll see that in translations, and like I've seen people play those games and get annoyed with it, but it's like that's just they're just translating it, you know. And like I think a lot of those people that this is not the discussion I was trying to have here, but I think there's a lot of those people that get mad like it's not the literal translation, and it's like no, I do think that sometimes things should be catered to the audience that you're translating to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not
Like as long as it's like the heart of what they're saying is the same, like
Right.
it doesn't really matter.
Like it doesn't. Yeah. Anyway. The last game on this list is The Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is it released at the beginning of 2024 in January, and it is a Metroidvania. Imagine that.
Right.
And from what I understand, a really well done one, and kind of a sad story. It was a success, and then they dismantled the studio that made it because Ubisoft is a terrible company. But it's a game that I've had recommended to me multiple times.
Ubisoft W.
Yeah, more like Boobisoft or Poobisoft.
Yeah.
That's what we said.
Poopysoft.
Poobisoft. So I would really love to play that game too. And I've been speaking about these games in a very particular way because here's the big reveal, everybody. You get to decide which one I play. So we're going to release a poll when this podcast comes out. You probably have already seen it. We'll have a poll on Spotify. We'll have a poll on the Discord. I don't think you can have a poll on YouTube, but if we could, we would. And you get to vote for which one of these 6 games I play. And then we will reveal the winner on next week's podcast. And then every week until I either complete the game or give up on the game, if it's Skull and Bones, I will talk about this game on the podcast every week.
Fucking Skull and Bones, dude.
Jason's really mad I picked Skull and Bones.
I'm just like I'm on some major just like fuck Ubisoft. Like
Yeah.
it's just this like slop for so long, bro. Like I don't want to give them any money. Like
Yeah.
I don't care about any of the more recent drama, really. It's just like you just put out mid games all the time. You don't have the same aura you used to, dude.
Well, And it sucks because like when they do put out what seems like to be a decent game like Shadows, it's like everything else they've done around it taints it so much that it's like the same thing that's happening with like Disney and their like live action remakes with the Snow White movie. Because I've read a lot of reviews that said that Snow White movie is pretty good and it actually changed. It's not a one-for-one remake like a lot of the remakes have been. Like they actually do more to flesh out characters and have a theme to the story and all this stuff. And if you get rid of outside of the fucking weirdos who are like go woke, go broke or whatever, if you get outside of that, there are people just because of the stink that Disney's put on these live action remakes aren't having it. You know what I mean?
Well, outside of that, all I heard was Gal Gadot's acting is like pretty bad.
Well, I mean,
like,
okay, the sky's blue. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
that was like already known,
right? Like, come on, Gal Gadot's
come on,
acting's
bruh.
bad. Oh, wow, what a shocker!
Also, just the idea that Gal Gadot's like jealous of somebody's looks is pretty crazy to me.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
unless that's changed in the movie, but I don't know.
I mean, they do the thing where they like. That I think instantly makes any person less attractive, where they like wrap their fucking head like this, which is like it's consistent with like the traditional look that the evil queen had, but it's like
Right.
I don't know, this fucking weird bodysuit. Like I don't know, that's not hot.
Yeah.
Like, you're covering
I
up.
don't know. It might
Hey, some people are into
kind of
it.
makes you think.
Put
like, what's
put
under
Gal
there?
Gadot in a gimp suit, and some people might be down. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm there. But
Kind of makes you wonder.
so anyway, go vote in the poll. Rock the vote.
Yeah.
Go vote for
Go to the polls.
Here are the
Pokemon,
games
go
again.
to the polls.
Here are the games again. Black Myth Wukong, Stellar Blade, Skull and Bones, Animal Well,
jeez.
Unicorn Overlord, and
Jeez.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Jason, who do you think's gonna win this poll?
Dude, I kind of feel like Skull and Bones might win just because it's funny. If I had to like choose, I feel like the best game on there is probably Unicorn Overlord.
Okay.
But I could also see the Animal Well stands come out to juice the poll. Like those
Okay.
are like my top 3.
I think the Gooners are gonna come out for Stellar Blade.
maybe.
I think Orpheus Joshua's typing Stellar Blade into the chat right now.
It's orgasmic.
It's orgasmic, he says. Okay, here's a stipulation I'm putting on this that will maybe raise the stakes.
Oh shoot.
Whatever game you guys pick, I will play. I will not play any of the other games ever. They're just dead. So be careful with what you vote for, because you may be robbing me of a game experience.
Guys, please.
I will
Don't
not-
make it play Skull and Bones. No.
Skull and Bones, as of this recording, is still playable. So it's on the list.
I remember also really wanting to check out that Prince of Persia one because at the Game Awards, like the VA for the main character came out.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
that.
like it was like pretty emotional. I remember being like, this guy seems like a good dude.
Yeah, it seems like that whole team was really passionate about that project, and they were. I don't think it sold super well at first, but then it kind of gained some word of mouth. But by that point, Ubisoft was already ready to close them. You know.
Yeah,
And
that's
such
the thing
dog
that like
shit, dude.
scares me with like Square Enix too, where it's like they put out these like major stinkers, like fucking foam stars and shit, and it's like. This makes me worried that like other good games and good studios can get closed because you are like trend chasing
Yeah.
random bullshit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Foam Stars is so baffling to me because, like, I didn't play it, right? But it probably was a pretty adequate game, right? All things considered. But, like, what trend are you chasing? It's not a trend. It's one company
it's like
came out with a good game called Splatoon and has had success. And you go, hey, this is a trend. And it's like, no, it's not a trend. Like, what?
Yeah.
Let's take away the thing that game has going for it, which is the weird aesthetic, and change it to be like vague anime with foam. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't get why
And it
that's the
runs
trend they
terribly.
chase. Like, be like the other idiots and make a battle royal, or you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna trend chase, game is
Yeah.
service. You know, like they already did that with Avengers, I guess, and that didn't work. But
Yeah, like Avengers, FOURspoken, like tons of
Okay.
just stinkers where you're like, good God,
You-
bro. Like,
you just
it makes
unlocked.
me really worried that like, come on, man. Like, you can't tank like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, like
Right.
all this shit. Please, bro. Octopath Traveler, like,
Right.
please, bro.
You just unlocked a bonus rant that I wasn't planning on going on, Jay.
bonus
And
rant.
I think I want to call anytime I go on a rant called living rant free.
Okay.
I thought of that after the first episode when I had that rant, and I was like, living rant free, that's good. We are not, as a society, as a set of gamers, as people on Twitter, however you want to categorize us, we are not going to try and revisionist history FOURspoken. I've been seeing
there are
this.
people trying to do
I've been
that?
seeing this slowly kind of creep up over time.
Huh?
I haven't seen it a ton, but I've seen it enough to make me go, wait a minute here. And there are people out there who will quote tweet FOURspoken or something and go, this game did not get its fair shake. This game didn't get the hate it deserved. Or it didn't get
Wait,
all this hate. Yeah,
No, it didn't
I
get the
worded that
hate it
weirdly. I
deserved.
worded that weirdly. This game got too much hate and it didn't deserve it. Let me tell you, okay?
Oh
I
my
understand
God, bruh.
seeing what happened to that game immediately, where people are like, look at this cringe dialogue, and going, this game didn't get a fair shake. But
Right.
as someone who played the game and finished the game, let me tell
Gave
you,
it a really, really, really fair shake. Like,
I gave
a
this
really
game
fair shake.
I gave this game this kind of shake. It was firm.
Yeah.
Okay. I was pretty positive on the game leading up to the end of the game. And my God, I don't think I've ever seen a game fumble the ball at the 1 yard line so hard. Okay. This
Yeah.
game was rushed to be finished. They finished all these story beats and elements with little ghosts that showed up that you talked to that just dropped exposition on you to the point where I said, wait, is this what's happening now? Is this game now? And then the final boss, which was a QuickTime-laden 2006 PlayStation 2 era boss fight that was just not fun. It was like Sonic in the Dark Knight. It was like one of these games that someone like Aaron Hansen or Markiplier would play on their YouTube channel and be screaming at about how unfair it is. It was so bad.
Undodgeable chin move. type
Yes,
shit.
the undodgeable chin move. It literally was that. And I remember being like, what happened to this game? I've never been turned so quickly by a game. Because I was like,
there's only one other game I can think of, and that's Like a Dragon. It's very similar, where like the final part of it is just so fucking bad.
Okay,
that it just
okay.
like taints your entire memory of it.
but here's the thing about Like a Dragon, Jason, is I would
at least
argue,
it was funny.
Well, I would argue that while FOURspoken had a baseline quality and just plummeted,
Yeah.
Like a Dragon was always kind of down here.
I don't know. I liked like the first third of the game was really good. Then there's like this weird, or I guess I'll put it in four pieces, right?
Okay.
First quarter, fucking like 9 out of 10. I was there, bro. I was locked in. Second quarter, still pretty good, still pretty good.
mhm.
Like, I'd say like a 8 out of 10. Third quarter, absolute dog shit. At least specifically, like, I hate the Nanba shit.
Yeah.
His story, absolute dog shit, terrible in my opinion. Fourth, it was like the first half of the fourth,
You were
first
in it?
half of the final fourth, I was in, bruh. It was like banging again. I was like, okay, we're back. Like 8 or 9 out of 10. last half of the final fourth, underdog shit.
But what I mean by that, Jay,
But at least it was like funny to be like, bro, what? Like I could like laugh about how insanely bad it was.
The difference to me is that the story of that game to me is always kind of meant to be like tongue-in-cheek and silly and out there.
Yeah.
And kind of, you know, it to me, like, while it shocked me how bad the ending to that game was, like, as far as, like, story,
and also, like, the final boss was utterly terrible.
Right. Well, are we still talking about Like a Dragon?
Yeah.
It wasn't as shocking to me as maybe it was to you, and I missed some of it. You know what I mean? Like we did that in a marathon setting, so I wasn't there for all of it. But to me, I was like, okay, yeah, this is like wacky that they ended the game like this, but it's kind of like it's not as far off. Where I feel like FOURspoken took itself really seriously and was trying to set up these plot points that they were resolving, and then again they resolved them with exposition ghosts. And a terrible boss
like not
fight.
even actual cutscenes.
Right. And so it was just, it's like, why did she get transported to this world? And it was just like, well, your mother, when you were 1 year old, look at this
so
hologram.
bad.
It's like, what the fuck? So
it's so contrived, bro.
Oh my God.
Terrible.
And it's like, it's so clear, like, we ran out of time and funding. You know, like,
I would say, like, I really didn't like the main character from FOURspoken at the beginning. Like, she's just kind of mean, you know? And then, like, you know, you get to know her a little bit. I didn't really like her interactions with Cuff very much. So, like, it makes the very end of it, like, just like, oh, come on. Like, just pull me out of my misery.
Yeah.
But then she, like, warmed up to me. And then it just, like, fell off a fucking cliff.
I forgot about that
at
twist,
least,
too. You just reminded, by just saying the name Cuff, I went, oh no,
dude.
and I can see
so
for
bad.
like fucking miles.
Well, and like their first interactions and this like millennial ass writing, like,
dude,
I just do that with my mind?
Right.
I just did that with my mind. I can move shit now. Like, it's like, holy shit, bro.
Yeah. They fly now? They fly now.
At least with Like a Dragon, Ichiban, the main character, is the best part.
Yeah.
Living up to his namesake. He's the best part.
Yeah.
Also, all the minigames are really fun too.
Right. So I would say Like a Dragon is a much better experience in game. And I wasn't as disappointed at the ending as I was with FOURspoken.
I still give it like a 7 or an 8.
But my point of this whole rant, because we've gotten off track again, this is the episode where we get off track, is that we are not going to fucking start tweeting on Twitter and being like, hey, FOURspoken didn't get a fair shake. This game's better than you remember. I'm not trying to watch some 2-hour fucking YouTube essay where some fucking douchebag is like, FOURspoken's better than you remember, and here's why. And no, we're not doing this, dude.
No.
We're not doing this. I refuse to let it happen. I will do whatever I can to stop that sentiment. I'll play the game again. I'll play the game through again just to prove to everybody this game is bad. It ends poorly. It had a lot of good ideas, and it's just the biggest piece of wasted potential that I've ever fucking played in my life.
True.
So we're not doing that. I'm just telling you guys, we're not doing it. No. If you want to do that, I'm not going to let you.
Well, and the idea that it, like, hurts the bottom line of, like, one of our favorite, like, companies, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that money could have gone towards something else we actually like.
Yeah. Or they could have just given them money to finish the game properly, and I think I would have liked it a lot better.
Yeah.
And it would have been fine.
Yeah. It could have been like a solid 7 or 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Rather than the like 5 it is. Or
right.
4.
Or 4. FOURspoken, you know what I mean?
FOURspoken, it's got a 4. All
right, Jason, so I have this idea. I now that we have face cam, right? I don't know about you, but I make some funny faces. Okay? I make some hilarious faces. Okay?
I'm sure I look really dumb all the time.
Yeah, I know that when you get really passionate and talk about something, I probably just look like this. I look like AJ Hawk on the Pat McAfee
lifeless.
show. I'm just like. But what I want you guys to do, I want to challenge you guys to do something. While you're watching this podcast on your phone or your computer.
Or your TV.
Or
on
your
the big
TV.
screen.
I mean, I don't know how you do this with a TV, but I want you to find a moment where Jason and I look ridiculous and snap a screenshot.
Okay.
And I want you to post it on Twitter.
Hashtag ARP.
Yeah, just hashtag ARP and like put a caption on it that says like, look at these dumbasses or something like that.
Caught. Hashtag caught. Hashtag ARP.
Yeah, hashtag caught, hashtag ARP, and then whatever you want to say. And yeah, maybe clip that, what Jay just did. Wait, should we both do it? 1, 2, 3. I was more like, my face was more like I knew I was gonna be caught. I was like, caught me. I want you guys to post on Twitter, and the person who does the best,
picking my nose, bro.
The person who has the best screen cap, as voted by Jason and I, wins.
It's in the thumbnail.
And what do you win? Sometimes you just don't know what your
My respect.
Wait, no, I fucked this up. Sometimes
My respect.
Sometimes you don't know what the prize is until you win the game, is what I wanted to say, but I fumbled. Brain fart. I'm sorry. But yeah, what I said, you don't know what you win until you win it. So do it. Please.
Do it.
It'll be funny.
Do it.
Oh, shit. Going full pelt. Going full sheave on us, dude.
I'm slowly raising my hands. Don't worry about it. I'm just caught. God!
It's true. Oh my God. Palpatine caught, dude. That's
fire.
the emote. That's emote.
Fire.
He's
Fire
like,
emote.
Palpatine caught. It could be an animated emote where he.
Oh my God. The $1 million emote.
$1 million emote. Now we can't.
Nobody steal it.
Now
Nobody
we
steal
can't
it.
post this podcast.
I gotta find a way to make money on this.
Jason, I heard you got a Japanese word of the day for us.
Oh yeah, Japanese word of the day. Get ready for the Japanese word of the day.
I hope someone takes that and makes it into like a
Japanese
song.
word of the day. Oh yeah, Japanese word of the day.
Could someone
It
please
just felt right.
take that and
It
make
just
like a
felt
shomoyo style song out of that?
Get ready.
Please.
Jason's Japanese word of the day. All right, guys, let me paint a picture for you, all right? Open up your mind's eye and travel with me on this journey, okay? Have you ever been in this situation? You know, all of us, we're terminally online.
Has this ever happened to you?
This happened to me in real life. And it's one of the few times, you know, you're at work or, you know, you're at like a friend's house or family or something, family get together, somebody's birthday or something. And so you got to talk with the normies, you know, the non-terminally online people, aka the cringe people, right? And they say something and you're like, caught, or you're like, yo, that's based. Or any of the other brain rots that you might get on TikTok or Instagram Reels, right? Well, there's some Twitch brain rot, some TikTok shit, you know? And then they just kind of look at you and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? That person we would call, in Japanese, a diaju.
Say it again.
Diaju.
Diaju?
Diaju.
Diaju.
No, R-A, but like Japanese R. Diaju.
Huh?
D, like Lee, but with like a little bit of an R to it. Aju.
Diaju.
Diaju.
I swore you were saying D, like the letter D.
It kind of, I think like what happens is because you have to touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth, right?
Diaju.
Like there's like a kind of to it. And I think over microphone, it like kind of picks that up a bit too hard. Diaju.
So this is a person who enjoys real life.
Yeah, person who they're just, they're kind of like that outside kind of person, They're not terminally online. They don't know. They don't know about the Invincible memes. They don't know about the JBL speaker with Fetty Wap. They don't know.
Is this like a newer phrase in Japanese nomenclature?
Yeah. It's like a newer slang.
Okay, I was gonna say because like
that pretty much like
in the 1800s, I don't know that makes sense.
No. Like it's like some gamer shit,
Yeah.
Had to let my real gamers know what to call the normies,
Right. I was just gonna say it's like normies.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
And that was the Japanese word of the day. Japanese word of the day.
It's so
I don't
stupid.
Is it like from something? I don't know.
I don't know what it is. It's not just how you're saying it. It's like the motion you do when you do it too.
Japanese word of the day.
So next topic. Pokemans.
Oh yeah.
We're talking Pokemans.
Oh yeah.
Before we get into what you kind of wanted to talk about with Pokemans, I think I have to say I love Pokemans. But
Me too.
Pokemon has kind of become tough to like in recent years. It's kind of like Star Wars.
Okay.
As a guy coming from a Kingdom Hearts community, I think that Star Wars fans and Pokemon fans are some of the roughest communities to be in. I just do.
I don't know that I would lump Pokemon with that group, but I get what you mean. Like, I feel like it's like Star Wars is on like another level. Like nothing else could like reach that level of like just insane fandom. But
I don't know, man. The way
I get what you mean.
The way some Pokemon fans act when like,
I guess I don't have Twitter, so maybe it's the Twitter folk.
When the frame rate is like 55 frames per second instead of 60, you know what I mean? Like they act like the Game Freak killed their parents. You know, they act like Game Freak like gave their alcoholic uncle who was recovering his last drink and then he went on another bender. You know what I mean? Like they act like Game Freak did something personal to them when like, man, I can't believe Bulbasaur looks like that. You know, like it's like
hey, Bulbasaur is the GOAT. I'll give him the respect he deserves.
Bulbasaur's my favorite Pokemon, but I'm saying like they act like it's like personally offensive to them when the game isn't the best looking game on a console that is behind a generation, by the way.
Yeah. That's like also a handheld. Yeah.
Right. And I get it. The last couple Pokemon games have had some problems mechanically with like how certain
I
things
just don't like how shit looks like Ocarina of Time, bro. Like what the fuck?
But you also aren't like threatening Game Freak's life over it.
Yeah. I'm normal about it. I'm like, that looks like shit. I'm not gonna buy it anyway.
Right.
Like,
And I wasn't personally moved by Scarlet and Violet, so I didn't buy it. You know, like, and I think that's okay. But like,
or Legends Arceus, I wasn't interested in that either.
Wait, which one's that? Is that the one where you?
That's
throw
the
balls?
first one that
I
where
liked that one.
You just throw it at him to catch him.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I was wasn't a fan.
I like the new one too. I think it looks good.
I like to do the gyms, you know? The gyms, they feel fun. They feel nice. When you have that, like, progression with, like, a party where it's like, you know, you got your starter stays in the party until the fucking sun dies, you know? That motherfucker's never leaving the party. And then, but, like, the different Pokemon that you, like, swap in and out, maybe you take some other, like, you know, you got your Pidgey that you bring all the way to, like, a Pidgeot, and he's with you in your crew at the end. You add in some other ones along the way. Like, I like that vibe of it, but, like, I'm not as big of a fan of the, like, just catch every fucking Pokemon you see. Every fucking Pokemon. Catch them all, bro. Like, it's not even in, like, a dex sense. Like, if you're, like, you know, you're doing the dex, but, like, it's literally just, like, catch 10 Geodudes. It's like, I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it. I liked it. I had fun with it, but I get why, if you're looking for a more pure Pokemon experience, you wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
One thing I'm concerned about with the new one is they've added movement to battles. You can lead your Pokemon around the battlefield, and it can cause the other Pokemon to miss moves and vice versa. But you don't directly control the Pokemon's movement. The Pokemon, like, follows you. And so it seems very, like, unintuitive looking. And it's like, I know I'm going to, like, try to dodge a move.
The microphone in, like, Hey You Pikachu, and I'm like, Pikachu, to the left, you stupid.
Right.
To the left. Run the route again.
And I think, while I think that's hilarious, I don't think that's going to be fun, you know, like, for Pokemon, you know?
After the first hour of clip farming, you're like, you're over it.
Like, okay, like, just fucking move when I tell you to, you fucking idiot. You know, I'll start abusing my Pokemon real fast, you know?
Yeah, bro.
I'll become Ash Ketchum real quick, dude.
It'll be like,
you want my Primeape? Here you go, motherfucker. Take him. You know, just doing stupid ass shit, you know?
Were you rushing or dragging?
But that's the one thing I'm concerned about from what the first peek of it. But what, I mean, I think we can kind of heal the world here, Jason, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, is what would be the ideal Pokemon game that Nintendo could release, Game Freak could release, that would make everybody happy, you know? So I think we should probably just shoot some ideas back and forth at each other, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, what really sparked this for me is shout out the homie Fabio again. We're glazing him in this episode, I guess. But we were just talking about Pokemon, and the reason why is because I've been playing a lot of Pixelmon, which is a mod of Minecraft that just adds Pokemon into the game, you know? And
Nintendo, don't listen to him. He's not playing a legal mod.
It does some, like, really interesting things that I feel like should just be put into the game. Like, should just be in Pokemon now. And one of them, for example, and this is where, like, they have it as, like, a thing that is tracked in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. That was the first time I remember it being tracked, where it's, like, the size of the Pokemon. You know, it'll be like, oh, this is your record for, like, your biggest Geodude or whatever, right? And, or, like, weight and stuff. But, like, you don't see the size difference. It looks the exact same. It's the exact same number of pixels. It takes up the exact same size on the screen, right? But in Pixelmon, it is very, very easily seen. It basically, it has everything that the normal game has, where it's like their stats as IVs, EVs, natures, moves. The movesets are exactly the same. How they evolve is pretty much exactly the same. There's like certain ones where it's like, there's like alternative ways to evolve. One of my favorite parts is like you're walking around the world and you see like, you know, a bunch of Magikarp in the water, right? And they're all like pretty normal size, but then you see one and it's a chonker, a friggin' chonker. And it doesn't matter what level that thing is, you're catching the chonker. Like, it's just big as hell. Like, what? it's like a no-brainer where it just adds really cool, memorable moments to the game that I think could just be easily implemented into the game, because they already have it where the Pokemon are walking around in the new games now, right? So like, just have it be like essentially a slider. Like, it doesn't have to be like super, like, okay, so normally it's 3 feet tall, an enormous one is 4 feet tall, so we got to make sure it's exactly this much taller. Like, it doesn't really even need to be like that. Just have it visibly be bigger. Like,
Right.
It's just like a side slider, you know? Like, I think something small like that could really add a lot and like memory to the game, where you're just like, even if I have like a full party, I don't even care. I'm at least gonna like catch that thing and then evolve that Magikarp into a Gyarados just to see how big it can get. You know, like that type of thing is just really cool. And so that's really what like sparked me wanting to just like talk about Pokemon and like the small things that they can add to the game that I think would just add a lot of character to it. Like, they could also take a bunch of things from like Pal World as well. And I honestly was like, wished it was in Pixelmon as well, where it's like, this is something that I think is really, really cool about Arc Survival Evolved. In Arc Survival Evolved, if I'm hitting a tree with an axe, I can only get like maybe like 20, 40 wood out of that tree, right? It's like kind of random. If I take a mammoth and hit that exact same tree while riding the mammoth, I can get like 2,000 wood if it's like a really, really good mammoth. So like, it makes it so you can carry more because the mammoth can carry more than you. It makes it so you get way more. It's way more efficient, faster, better in every way, and also makes you want to have a mammoth, right?
Right.
So like, if they had like a similar thing where it's like, normally for like picking this apricot tree, you would only get like 2 apricots from it. But if you have like, I don't know, like your Bellossom or some grass Pokemon pick that apricot tree for you, you get like way more, like 20 apricots or something like that. And that's something that
20?
like could be a stat that's like something that you would want as far as like which one you catch. Like maybe it's based on their like special attack or something like that, you know? And I just think it would make it so you would want to like vary up your party sometimes, where it's like, and they already have this thing where it's like there's crafting and stuff in Legends Arceus, and it kind of has that like survival type of gameplay to it a bit, you know, like where like you would like cook food and stuff like that, and it just really would seem like a layup to me in these like survival like Breath of the Wild-esque kind of games where there's more reasons to have different stuff in your party other than just like it's cool or it's strong, you know? Like, it's actually like useful in a way. Like, in the same way that like, you know, back in the day, like, oh, like Bidoof is like, you would want to have it in your party because it can learn like all the HMs, you know? Like,
right. Yeah.
But in a way that is like directly helpful, that doesn't feel like tedious, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe if you wanted it to be even less friction, where like you don't have to change your party, like maybe you have like certain Pokemon in a slot where it's like, anytime I activate an apricot tree, if I press it, I can choose to harvest it with this Pokemon that I have set as like my harvester Pokemon. And then like that Pokemon comes out, hits it, and then comes back out, kind of thing.
I think they did that with HMs now, right? Like, you don't have to have a Pokemon in your part. Maybe I'm misremembering. I think they did that.
I know you can like throw them at like certain like resources in Arceus, I believe it is.
In Arceus,
maybe
but
it's in
I want to say,
but I don't know if it like is better based on what Pokemon you're using. I think it's just the same every time.
well, no, that part, but I just mean like in the way like using Pokemon for utility. I want to say in Sword and Shield, because I think that's the last mainline Pokemon I played. There was something where you didn't have to have the HM Pokemon in your party, I thought. Maybe I'm misremembering. I swear there was something like that, but maybe I'm misremembering. I haven't played that game in a long time.
Well, you don't really like use You don't really use HMs because how you fly around is through their like taxi service or whatever with the one bird. And then surfing, you just use the mock bike or whatever.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Maybe I was like, oh, they just got rid of HMs in that way, so it doesn't take up a move slot.
I can't remember if there's like a need for Rock Smash or something. I don't remember.
Yeah. But that is one of the lame things about like Pokemon games like in general is it's like, okay, you got to have one of your moves be taken up by cut. So you could cut down, you know. One thing I'd like to see them do some more work on, but one of my the reason Gold is my favorite Pokemon game is one, I was like in middle school when I played it the first time, you know.
Yeah.
It's like very formative. But two, I loved the concept of, you know, because I'd played Red and Blue and then played Gold, and you beat the Elite Four. And they're like, oh, by the way, you can go back to the old continent and challenge all those gym guys, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, what? What do you mean? And
I guess it felt like time had passed in that region too,
right.
You know?
And that part was cool, but I love the idea of like when you complete the gym circuit and do the Elite Four, that there's more to challenge and more to do. And I think they could do something really cool with the Elite Four or the Pokemon League, I guess, not the Elite Four necessarily, where there's like tournaments. Maybe you take Pokemon Stadium and what that has, where it has these like not randomly generated, but it could be that, but they have these different teams you can battle in these different like challenges, and there's more to the Pokemon League than just the Elite Four, right? Where you could take different teams in and you could do all this stuff, and then if that was like an endlessly like building like thing where you could continue to rank up and do these stuff, and then you could integrate the online battling against other trainers into that, right? And so I don't know what the exact answer is, but I think, you know, the Pokemon League is just a concept that they haven't really farmed, you know, that they haven't really taken a lot of thought into.
I think in Sun and Moon they did something kind of similar to that. I don't really know as much, but I know there was ways where like you could play against like old gym leaders. Like for example, like Brock would show up and he would have like they're all like level 80 and they're like juiced. Like instead of just having like a Geodude, he's got like Grimer, and he's got like, instead of like Rhydon, he has like Hyperion, like the like fourth evolution or whatever.
But
right?
that game didn't have gyms, so fuck it.
Yeah. And also the like run to the flag over and over type of thing.
Yeah. Fuck Sun
Way
and
too
Moon.
much exposition too.
Dog
bro.
shit.
Anyway,
I'm a toxic Pokemon fan and I hate it. All right, Jason. It's time for the question of the week. We still didn't do it long enough last time, and I doubt we did this time. So except that's what I would be saying, Jason, if it was time for the question of the week. But here's the problem. You people. No one's asked us a fucking question. No one has asked one goddamn question in the question of the week section. What do you guys do?
This is episode 3.
This is episode 3.
You haven't asked any questions?
Do you guys want to ruin the episode or the question of the week? Is that what you want?
ARP question of the week?
You want to ruin ARP question of the week? Is that what you want to do? Jip?
That's what they're trying to do.
Is that what you want to do, Jip? Yeah, I'm calling you out, Jip.
Miss Winerib's carrying.
Miss Winerib is the only one, and Jason, frankly, are the only ones to ask a question.
That's why we're the best.
What do I have to do? Ask you to ask a question? Oh, wait, I already did that. There better be multiple questions for us to answer. Good questions in that question of the week channel by the next time we go to record an episode. Or you don't want to know what's going to happen. I'm calling you out.
I'm scared.
You should be. End the episode.